Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up's second Halloween horror season. Having already discussed Takashi Miike's chilling Japanese hit Audition, we're moving to Australia for the theatrical debut of the hugely talented writer and director Jennifer Kent. The Babadook tells the story of a widow and her young son and the horror that pervades their lives, whether they're sleeping or awake. The concept is fascinating. A mother reads to her child every night to get him to sleep soundly, until one night she lets her son pick a book, and a mysterious red leather-bound book called The Babadook appears on his shelf. On reading through the story, both mother and son realise how creepy and unnerving the book is, and the mother tries to destroy the book when things start happening around the house, and she starts getting chilling phone calls. The Babadook began as a chilling 10-minute short called Monster from 2005 from Jennifer Kent herself, and was fleshed out into this 90-minute gem almost a decade later. So many of the shots and camera angles on display here are reminiscent of expressionist art, and the performances from both Essie Davis as Amelia and Noah Wiseman as her young son Samuel are outstanding. Radek Ladchuk's cinematography is stark and unforgiving, as Amelia's home is dark and drained of colour, much like her own persona since the death of her husband in a car accident, and there's a sense of dread permeating every minute of the story. The hardest thing for fans of the blood and gore in the genre to overcome with a film like The Babadook is that you're not going to get this with this film. This is an exercise in endurance and a highly effective psychological test. Amelia is repressing thoughts about her husband's death, blaming both herself for being pregnant with Samuel as they were on their way to the hospital, and hating the unborn Samuel himself for taking his father out of the equation. The Babadook is a manifestation of Amelia's reluctance to accept that she can't change the past, and must accept that everyone faces loss and grief in their lives. It's how you break past despair and try to piece your life back together. Mind you, it is a challenge, as Amelia has to contend with her troubled child, getting into trouble at school, making weapons at home to defeat the monsters, and believing in magic and illusion, the unexplained. There are so many standout set pieces in The Babadook, whether it's Samuel's convulsion in the back of the car as he sees the Babadook, Amelia seeing the Babadook for herself in her neighbour's home, or most unnervingly, the Babadook taking possession of Amelia herself. For a debut in the genre, The Babadook really is a stroke of genius. The narrative is beautifully told, the character arcs are really affecting, and the creation of the monster itself is a fascinating antagonist. It's such a pleasant breath of fresh air to see talented people creating things for real in a CGI-dominated genre of blood and gore, and having their talents rewarded by great reviews. And here's another one. The Babadook is one of the strongest horror films for more than a decade. From Crawford-Clark Close-Up. Have you seen The Babadook and Jennifer Kent's short film Monster from which it's based? If you haven't, definitely check them out, and perhaps keep the lights on while you're watching. If you enjoyed this review, please consider clicking the subscribe button at the top of the page so you don't miss out on any new content on the channel. Come and find Crawford-Clark Close-Up on Facebook and Twitter, and email crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com with any suggestions you might have for ways we can improve the channel or for things we can review. Coming next in this week of Halloween horror, we're bringing you our thoughts on wooded horror flicks The Blair Witch Project and its sequel Blair Witch in a double review. Thanks for watching, and until next time, that's a wrap.